That's right, guys, I was able to get in an awesome wintertime ride, but unfortunately, when you go out on those wintertime rides, especially here in the Midwest where it gets cold, we get snow, we get muck on the roads, the bike is nasty. I've got salt and grime and junk all over this bike, but it's cold outside, but I still need to get this bike washed because I don't want that stuff pitting out any of the metal parts, dulling any of the paint. And the only way to do that here in the Midwest, and what I want to show you today, is how to wash these bikes without water with some really cool products that are relatively inexpensive and can get this bike cleaned up and ready for the next wintertime ride. And we'll get into it right after this. So that's right, guys, wintertime rides, your bikes are going to get really, really dirty. And the last thing you want to do, or maybe even not even be able to do because the temperatures are going to be below freezing, is be able to drag a hose out. You have two options. You can either not wash your bike and leave all that gunk, salt potentially all over the bike, could cause pitting, or you wash these bikes waterlessly. So what you're going to need, I use Sprayway glass cleaner. I use, from time to time, this Harley Davidson Quick Wash, which is a spray-on. And then another product I use is this Nexgen Waterless Wash. Then obviously you're gonna need a lot of microfiber towels. And I use this Mother's 360 cone to get into the wheel. So my preferred method is to go as least expensive as possible. And I've been using this method for over 7 years, and my bikes look great, they're shiny, it gets all the gunk off, and I'm going to show you how I do it in my garage in the winter time. So the first thing I do is I spray the bike or the area. I start and do kind of sections of the bike. So I'm going to start up here in the fairing, and I spray it down completely with the Sprayway glass cleaner. Now this is ammonia free, so it's not going to do anything to the paint. I've used this on bikes for several years. No issues with paint, and really you can kind of use it all over the bikes. So let me show you how I do this up on the fairing and how this stuff foams up. So I've shaken it up really good, and I'm just going to spray this all over the fairing. Then you want to let that set and kind of eat away at all that gunk and grime that I got on the bike when I was out riding the other day. So it kind of loosens it up. And then with the clean microfiber towel, you just begin to kind of wipe that down. Kind of flipping over your microfiber towel. And again, you can use this on metal. You can use it on your windscreen. I'm obviously using it on the plastics here on the fairing. Just wipe that thing down completely, and it's already looking a lot better. So after I've done that initial wipe down, then I'm going to get another clean microfiber towel and really again wipe this down and make sure that it's all dry. Make sure that I haven't missed any parts of the fairing to get it all cleaned off. Now the other great thing about this product is if you have some bugs, this thing will actually eat bugs off. It loosens them up. You don't have to scrub them with anything. And the beauty is then they just wipe down just like I did here. Now we're down here on the forks and the crash bars. Same situation. What I'll do is I'll get the Sprayway glass cleaner, spray that down, let it foam, let it soak in a bit. Again, with my microfiber towel, go ahead and wipe this down. As you can see, that chrome, getting all the gunk off there so that you don't get any pitting on these chrome or metal parts here up on the front of the bike. And I'll do the same thing down here on the crash bar. Wipe that down. This was really nasty down here because all that road grime was flipping up. So then after I've wiped that down with my original microfiber, then I come back with the dry one again and just make sure that I get all of that glass Sprayway cleaner off of there and get it nice and dry. As you can see now, this metal is nice and clean. And so what I'm gonna do is kind of do a little bit more here, do the fender. We gotta do the tank, basically the whole bike. And as you can see, I'm using this on the metal portions of the bike, painted portions, as well as the plastics like this heat mid-frame air deflector here. So no worries from that perspective. Again, that's because this does have, that cleaner does not have any ammonia in it. I'm gonna come back with my dry microfiber and get the rest of the moisture off of here. So I'm going to show you how I clean the wheels. You can see there's a lot of gunk on that. They're dirty. So again, I'm going to use the same cleaner and I'm going to spray this entire wheel. And I've actually got it up off the ground a little bit so I can spin it. Got a little center stand underneath the bike so I can get that spray through the whole wheel. You can either try to wipe that down with a microfiber towel, or the option I have is this 360 cone by Mothers, I believe. And so what I'll do is just kind of run that through. I've got this on my cordless drill, and I'll just kind of go in and out here, and this thing is soft. It won't scratch anything. So let me show you how I do that. And then after you get this completely wiped down, you can see a lot of dirt on that 360 cone. I'm going to take my microfiber towel and just kind of wipe this down. But that knocked off most of the gunk and the heavy dirt on this. So I'm going to get this wiped down. Okay, so there you have it. The wheel's looking nice and clean now. I scrubbed that thing. As you can see, a lot of dirt coming off those wheels. Okay, so after I've gotten the bike completely wiped down with the Sprayway cleaner, and I've got it nice and clean, nice and dry, what I use next is this Nexgen. It's called a waterless wash as well, but the reason I use this is it has some property in it that actually makes this paint super slick. So you just give it a light mist. Then with your clean microfiber, you just kind of wipe this down. And it's probably hard to tell in the camera, but this stuff, I mean, it is super slick. I will put links down in the description to both the Sprayway cleaner as well as the Nexgen waterless spray detailer. Nexgen product, you can use it on the metal, like I did on the fender. You can use that down on the forks, on the chrome. You can use it on the plastics, like on the front fairing. And again, it's just a light mist. That bottle might look small, but it lasts a really long time. And just kind of wipe it down and then let that dry. And it pretty much dries streakless. So guys, as you can see, the bike is nice and shiny after using that process. Again, I started with the Sprayway cleaner, let that foam, wiped it down with a microfiber, then came back with a dry microfiber. Then I used the Nexgen waterless spray cleaner, wiped that down and made this paint. It is slick and smooth. And then that's really it. Again, I use this method in the winter for sure, but I also use this a lot even in the summer because obviously this bike has speakers in the bags, which I don't like to get those wet. It happens, and I'm sure they're marine grade, so it's not a big issue. But honestly, I don't like dragging out the hose, getting all that equipment out. When I can do this spray waterless process, get the bike clean, it eats the bugs off in the summertime, it eats all the grime off in the wintertime, and you get a nice, clean, shiny bike. You don't have to worry about your metals pitting, your paint getting messed up. It's real simple. I can do the whole bike. If I take the bags off, probably takes me 15 or 20 minutes. And then I'm done. So guys, if you like this type of content, please give this a thumbs up. Also, consider sharing this with your friends. And I'd also appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And when you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell icon and select all so you do get notified every time I do put out new content. So with that, guys, That's how I waterlessly clean this bike and all my bikes. And I want to leave you with this thought. Life is short, get out and ride the bike. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.